So welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is János Daszkal from Hungary, and I am the national contact point here in Hungary for the Digital Europe program. And I've been working with direct EU funding for about 3 years now, focusing mainly on digitalization. As you probably experienced it already in July, if you could take part in one or more of our previous sessions, that it is a part of a series of sessions organized by DEP for All project. So it's already session 6. The previous ones was about introduction to DEP, and then how to create a concept from a project idea, and how to organize a consortium about it. And we had 3 trainings when we jumped into, let's say, deeply the special objectives of the Digital Europe program. Now it's session 6. It will be about, let's say, the moment of truth, the project proposal writing, and then the project management. And 3 colleagues from various countries will be with us today. Timo Mustonen, the colleague from National Contact Point for DEP Cybersecurity from Finland. He will talk about the screens, the application process itself, and drive you through the screens of the funding and tenders portal. And then we will talk about the grant agreement. If the proposal is successful and you won the application, then the grant agreement process comes, and it will be shown in detail by Ms. Marion Perrin. And then, of course, the project implementation will take place, and we just don't need to just implement the project, but as well to report the financial and technical reporting, which is always a challenge for especially the newcomers. And Kristina Kochkova will talk about it. Before jumping into the details and starting the presentation, I will say something about, let's say, the housekeeping rules. Those who already took part in these kind of trainings, of course, will be familiar with these details, but there are always newcomers, so this is why I have to share this. First of all, please note that this training session, as the other ones, will be recorded, because there are lots of colleagues who cannot take part at the moment, and it would be important to share the information with them as well. And this is the second news, that all the information will be shared. So if you are afraid that you will miss something, don't be afraid. You won't miss anything. We always send a follow-up letter after the session, which contains the recording, as I mentioned, the presentations we show, and if you have questions which we cannot answer at the moment, then of course all the answers to the questions in writing. So this will be the package, what you will receive in the follow-up letter. If you have questions in the meantime, please write them into the chat or in the Q&A, because we have to unmute all the mics of the participants, because there are lots of people in the call, fortunately. But to avoid the background noise, we have to unmute all the mics. Should you have anything to ask or anything to comment, please raise your hands. We will monitor you. We will monitor all the participants. And once your hand is raised, we will unmute your mics. So if you have questions, please put it in the chat. And either at the end of each presentation or end of the session, we will have time to answer these questions. Of course, if you have even more detailed questions or bilateral questions, which are not really interesting for the other participants, then please, we would like to encourage you to turn directly to your national contact points, DEP national contact points in your country. So this is the, let's say, the short introduction at the beginning. And as I mentioned, the first part will be about the funding and tenders portal, the screens, the documents, so the application process. So Timo Mustonen from Finland will present this. So this is why I would like to hand over the floor to Timo. And Timo, please start sharing your screen and start your presentation.
Thank you very much. Good morning from my side as well. I'm Timo Mustonen, as introduced. I work as the NCP for Digital Europe program on the cybersecurity side in the National Coordination Center of Finland. And today I'll run you through the funding and tenders portal, what you need to know in 10 minutes or less. I might take a couple of extra minutes, but I'll do my very best. And just to warn you, there's going to be a lot of screens to go through. I will run through them literally. As mentioned, you will get all the information sent to you. So don't worry about the screens. Just try to have a mental image of what kind of process it is. There's 3 points that I kind of want to go through with you mainly, and I'll highlight them as we get to it. But generally, what you will learn today, hopefully, is how to find a suitable call, how to register as an applicant, how to submit a proposal, and then quickly how to find additional partners if your consortium is not quite full yet. So starting with the funding of the suitable call. So the funding and tenders portal is basically the central electronic portal for all the EU funding and tenders topics. The website is there. It hosts 32 different programs. So there's a lot of information there for you to find. Digital Europe is one of them, but there's several others on several different topics. And it is managed by the European Commission, and it has 2 parts. The public section, which gives all the information, the funding opportunities, the reference documents, the policy backgrounds, all of this. And then there's the My Area, which is a secure, personalized private section, where you manage your account and your proposal, your grants, your contracts. Now there's also an app called EU Funding and Me that is available both Android and Apple. If you want to try on that one, we will not focus on that on this presentation. Starting with finding a call. This is a screen that you will see when you first go to the website. You will get this very drop-down menu heavy section. So if you head down to the funding section highlighted on the top right, and select there calls for proposals, you get a long list of different options. Use the quick filters on your left to select the programming period, the program if you already know it. You can also search by call. One thing that is highlighted in the blue on the left is the submission status. I strongly advise to select there only the open and forthcoming ones, since this also tracks all the ones that came before, so you can refer back to your the documents, but it also clogs up the search quite strongly. You can use on some filtering options that can be found on the left side of the screen with a more detailed filtering. And when you're happy with the list that you got on the center, highlighted with the 4, you can access the specific calls. When you click the topic, you will get the information of the call itself, which means that you get the general information of it, that shows the program, the budget, the type, the published, and then most importantly maybe the deadline. You get all the information of the call. You get the documents that you need to fill in, and you can start the submission, which is a button on the call itself. At this stage, if you haven't already done so, the portal does require you to register both yourself and your organization. And here, if you want to do that earlier, to the top right, there's a sign in button. Click that, and you can either sign in or create an account and follow the instructions of the wizard. That's relatively simple enough to do. And that opens up the my profile section, your own private area that gives a new menu option to the left, where you can access your profile, your content, your notifications. On the Grant Center, you can access your proposals, drafts, and your projects, and so on and so forth. Now, to register an organization, that's also needed. You can register your own organization or an organization you've worked for. When you register it, you will automatically consider it the contact person, and this is very important. So when you set up the organization's account, you're the one who manages it, who has the right to make changes, make updates until there's the official legal account administrator have been assigned. Those are assigned only if the proposal is successful. So you can look into that in the future. But as a self-registrant, you will be able to do all the necessary things like perform updates, provide documents, and register bank accounts, and so forth. Do remember that to try and remember the account you registered, because you are the only one who can change it when the situation comes, or try to add in other users as managers to the organization when you register it. You need to register it to get the participant identification code, which is a 9-digit number, which is needed for the proposal, and follow the wizard again to do this. And if your proposal is successful, you will then get the notification to validate your organization. So you don't have to provide all the paperwork yet, just provide the needed information, and then if your proposal is successful, you get to do the official validations. So check. You can find a registered organization, so please do check if somebody else has already registered your organization. If not, you can register your organization through registering wizard again. And now you get to submit, which is the very quick and long process. But in short, log in, create your draft proposal, add participants if you need, edit the proposal draft, upload the project proposal and all the other annexes, then validate and submit the proposal. Following the submission, you can still update, download, or withdraw your proposal. And also, while the call remains open, you can update your proposal and submit again. Each submission overrides the previous one, so only one submission is active at a time. And do please remember that any changes to the proposal will require you to submit it again. So if you want the changes that you just made to actually show in the proposal, submit it again. You can find the submission from the Start Submission button at the call page that we went through earlier. It opens into a topic selection screen where you insert your on the left side you can find the deadline, the call data, and all the support informations. And on the right side, you first insert the organization, find it on the registered organizations list, choose your role, main contact or contact person, and then add in the proposal information beforehand. So these can be changed later, but they do require an acronym, a short summary, and some of the priorities from the top select menu. You save and go to next step, which asks if you are okay that the data that you just inserted is available for the European Commission prior to the call closure. This is done just to make sure that they have good resources and ready for the evaluation. You can also choose not to do this, but this is not recommended. And now you have created a draft proposal, which looks a bit like this. Here on the left side, you can get all the same information as before. So deadline, call data, proposal data. And on the left side, you can also download the editable templates and find the support and help desk information. On the right side, you see there's administrative forms, part A, and then part B and annexes. Part A is the official application document, and part B is usually the project proposal document. So what you will find in part A is a lot of information that you need to fill in. It's quite self-explanatory, meaning organizations participating, contact details, budget, and some declarations. Just follow the documents, go through all the four sections, and you should be good. Part B is the more hefty bit of work, which is the actual project proposal. So download the Part B templates. To download all the templates on the editable format on the left side of the previous screen. The templates describe very clearly the information that must be included. So do be thorough, and also it also tells you how to structure the information. Once you have completed the proposal, convert into a PDF file and upload it to the annex as to the proposal. You can receive technical assistance from the contacts listed in the Get Support section. And for more dedicated assistance on actually going through the project proposal part B, do contact your national contact points if you have any questions, because they are there to help you understand what the requirements are. But it will look something like this. Depending on the call, the list is these proposal can be several tens of pages, even sometimes over 100. But do keep within the instructions and do follow the instructions given on both for formatting and for the answering of the different text boxes that you see on the right side. Once you've submitted everything, click validate, and it will show you all the things that you missed. Address to those, and then you can submit. This doesn't evaluate it just makes sure that your proposal is technically correct, so it has all the entries that it needs to have. And once you submit, you get this final call sheet that shows you the upgrade proposal. You can download or withdraw as discussed before. To access your proposal, log in, go to your left side grant center, and in the proposals, you can find this proposal again if you need to revisit it. Just go to the right side actions button and click edit draft. Try not to delete. And final quick reminder that you can also use this portal to find partners. It's the same funding drop down menu. There's a partner search option, which functions exactly as finding the call would. So you can search, filter, and then try to find a suitable partner for you. And you can also find call specific partner search announcements on the call website in the partner search announcement section of that call. So that was it very quickly. I think I took more than 10 minutes, I'm sorry. But one thing to remember from all this is there's always help available. So in the portal itself, on the drop-down menu, there's guidance documents. So check in the online manual on IT how to find all the screens and all the processes step by step, and also informational videos that you can watch and refresh your memory. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Timo. And apologies for everyone if it seemed to be frightening to rush so many screens, but believe us that this funding and tender portal is quite logical. So if you, let's say, just start to get familiar with it, then you can find everything what is needed. And we always repeat mentioning that contact your national contact points in your countries, because if there are questions, if your kind of assistant needed, then of course it is the national contact point primarily who can follow you in the process and who can help you. So after the, let's say, the screens and the application itself, if we submitted an application, oh, sorry, we have just realized that we have a question. Agi just told us. So it is Erika Kiskovac who raised your hand. If you have a question, please now free to ask. So Erika, is the question is still valid and you want to ask something? If so, then please unmute yourself and ask. Okay, then if it's still valid, then please type it into the Q&A and we will find it. We will process it after the session and we can answer it in writing. So once the submission hopefully wins the application, then of course it is very important to prepare the grant agreement, because without a grant agreement you won't get any money. So to prepare the grant agreement and carry out all the related tasks. So Marion Perrin from EU Hub is an absolute expert on this field. So and she is also the consortium leader of the whole DAP for All project. So in this double head position, please, Marion, take over the word and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Janos. Okay, good morning, everyone. So yes, as Janos just said, my name is Marion Perrin. I'm NCP for Digital Europe program in Brussels, Belgium. And today I'm going to talk to you about what happens after the successful applicants receive the notification from the European Commission that their project has been accepted. So that means that they can start the grant agreement preparation. So all this part of the presentation is dedicated to the technical details and all the obligations that have to be fulfilled in order for the European Commission to sign the grant agreement and then for the consortium to start implementing the project. So on this slide, you have an overview of the process for applying for EU funding. So once the proposals are evaluated and selected, we move into the grant agreement preparation phase. So this stage focuses on close collaboration between the funding body and the project beneficiaries to finalize key details, such as timeline, budgets, and deliverables. So the goal here is to make sure everything is clearly defined and agreed before the project officially begins. And once the grant agreement is signed, implementation can start and funding is released according to the agreed terms. So that's the part I'll be focused on in this presentation. So it's important as well to underline that the grant agreement process is mainly handled by the project coordinator, but I think that it's equally important for all project partners to understand the different steps involved and to be aware of what's behind this crucial documents for an EU-funded project. So what happens during the preparation of the grant agreement? The grant agreement with the European Commission is finalized and electronically signed in the Funding and Tenders portal. So the same portal that Timo showed you right before. So at this stage, all the information submitted in the proposal is carefully checked and if needed, corrected and updated. The key project details are also confirmed, including the start date, the number and duration of reporting periods, the overall budget, and the amount of pre-financing. So this kind of ensure that everything is accurate and agreed before the project officially starts. So the grant agreement preparation process has 7 steps, as you can see on the screen. So starting with the invitation and grant preparation, where participants and roles are validated. Then the grant data is reviewed and finalized before the agreement is signed by the coordinator, the European Commission, and then the beneficiaries, so that means the project partners. And finally, the pre-financing is paid as defined in the agreement. So this slide shows the main parts that make up the grant agreement. So as you know by now, the grant agreement is a formal document that defines the relationship between the consortium, which includes all project partners, and the European Commission. So together, they consolidate all the scientific, technical, budgetary, administrative, and legal information related to the project. So all of this information forms what we call the grant agreement data. So that's the full package that outlines how the project will be carried out and managed. So the grant agreement data is structured into several key components. So first, the core grant agreement, which contains the main legal terms and conditions. So then Annex 1, which provides a detailed description of the actions, the DOA. This is essentially the technical and work plan of the project. Then we have Annex 2, which covers the budget, detailing how funds are distributed and used. And finally, we also have other annexes, which may include specific provisions or additional documents relevant to the project. So that means that all aspects of the project, from objectives to funding and responsibilities, are clearly defined and agreed upon. So these slides focuses on the description of the actions, which is commonly called DOA, which is Annex 1 of the grant agreement. So the DOA explains in detail how the project will be carried out. It's essentially the blueprint for implementation. It's made up of two parts, both of which come from the original proposal. So part A contains the structured data, so tables with project details like participants, budget breakdowns and milestones. This part is automatically generated by the IT system using the information entered during grant preparation, and it's already partially filled with data from the proposal. Part B is the narrative part. It's a written description of the work to be done. It closely follows the proposal and needs to be uploaded as a PDF. So together, those two parts ensure that both the technical and descriptive aspects of the project are clearly documented and aligned with the proposal. So we are going to go a little bit more into details here. So this slide explains how to generate Annex 1. So specifically Part A, we will see Part B later. So Part A is completed directly online in the grant management system that I'll show you how in a minute. And it's based on the project proposal. So it includes several key sections: the project summary, the list of beneficiaries, the details of work packages, the deliverable, the milestones, and there is also a section on critical risk and mitigation measures, actions. And there is finally a summary of project efforts that are measured in person months. So it's important to remember that any changes made at this stage need to be discussed and agreed upon with the EU project officer. And big modifications to what was originally proposed are not allowed at this stage. So this step is really about aligning the data and not redefining the project. So this is the Sigma grant management screen, which is the online workspace where all the information for the grant agreement is entered and managed. So at the top, you can see the different sections that make up the grant agreement data, like the project summaries, the deliverables, the milestones, the risk, everything. So each section is marked with an icon showing its status. And you see the legend below explain what this sequence means. So in short, this screen gives you an overview of the project's completeness and helps ensure all required data is in place before the agreement can move forward. So we move to Part B. So after entering all the structured data in Sigma for Part A, the next step is to prepare and upload Part B of Annex 1, which is a narrative document. So it comes directly from the proposal you submitted for evaluation. But before uploading it, there are a few things to do, such removing the cover page, the list of participants. They are already in part A. You have to add a table with the history of changes, table of contents. And once everything is done, the project coordinator will have to upload the final document in the grant management system that I just showed you. And here now that both parts of Annex 1, Part A and Part B are ready, so the final step is to upload here on the Sigma system. So in order to do this, you simply go to the document section you can see on the screen under grant agreement data, and Part I generated automatically, but Part B, the narrative document, you have to upload it as a PDF under Annex 1. And so this completes the DOS submission process and means you can move forward for review and signature. The next step, as I just said, is to move on to the signature of the grant agreement. And the signing process takes place entirely online through the Funding and Tender Opportunities portal. So first, during the grant preparation phase, each project participant signs a declaration of honor, confirming eligibility and commitment for the project. Then the grant agreement itself is signed, first by the coordinator, then by the European Commission, and then by the beneficiaries. They can formally join the agreement within 30 days using the accession form, which is Annex 3. And all signatures for both the grant agreement and related documents are done electronically by the project legal signatory, which is referred as PL sign. And I'm going to go a little bit more into details about the rules and access management. Let's look here at the minimum setup needed for role and access management so that beneficiaries can sign the grant agreement. So each organization needs a LEAR, which means legal entity appointed representative, who is designated during the participant validation process and manages access rights. So this is mandatory. You have to have one LEAR in your organization, otherwise you can't move forward with the signature. So the coordinating organization must also have a primary coordinator contact, usually the person who submitted the proposal and who serves as the main link with the Commission. Then each beneficiary must have at least one participant contact. And the LEAR also needs to appoint 2 key roles. So a legal signatory, PL sign, as I said before on the slide before, to sign legal documents, and a financial signatory, F sign, to sign financial ones. So sometimes one person can hold multiple roles, but this must be officially assigned in the portal. So that's a step you cannot miss. It's very important. And you have to remember that everything is signed electronically, and the PL sign must be appointed specifically for each project. That's what the Commission calls a chain of trust. Yes. So I wanted to highlight a few important points to remember during the grant agreement process, because I'm aware, I know that it's a very difficult process, and there are very lots of different steps to take, but I wanted to highlight those things, though, that first, deadlines are very strict, so missing them can lead to your project being rejected, and you don't want that. Second, you avoid substantial deviations from the proposals, because only changes specifically covered by the invitation to grant preparation are allowed. So minor corrections or clarification are fine, but you can't change, make big changes. It's not possible. And it means that you are not required to implement every suggestion from the ESR, the Evaluation Summary Report. Those are just recommendations, not obligations. And finally, changes in the consortium are only allowed in exceptional cases and must always be justified and approved by the project officer. That's a very strict process. And I wanted to end this presentation with those two important documents to keep in mind. So first, the consortium agreement. This is prepared during the grant preparation phase as well, but it's an internal agreement between the project partners. The European Commission is not involved in this agreement. It basically defines how the partners will collaborate, manage responsibilities, share results, and handle internal decision-making. And I have also added the annotated grant agreement, or AGA, which is a very useful guidance document. It explains each article of the EU model grant agreement and includes practical example. So it's meant to help applicants and beneficiaries to understand and interpret the grant agreement for all EU funding programs. Yes, it's a lot of information. I'm sorry about that, but that's all from my side. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will hand over to my colleague, Christina. Thank you.
Thank you, Marion. We have 3 questions. We received 3 questions during your presentation. Thank you very much. The first one seems to be a bit financial, so maybe Christina will have the answer for this anyway. Is there systematically a pre-financing in these projects? So we will talk about the pre-financing as well. So I think then leave this question after your presentation. The second one is, how is the LEAR changed during the project period duration? For example, if there is a change of rector, for example, in the university, how is it going?
It's possible. You have to go to the portal. There is a service called Central Validation Service that you can contact, and you can explain the change and send all the requested documents, and this will be done. It takes like 1 week or 2, but it's totally feasible. Yes, everything is done through the portal.
Okay. And the third one is, once a project is awarded and the grant agreement is signed, will there be a designated contact person on the side of European Commission, such as a project officer or contract manager, with whom the beneficiary can communicate directly? Specifically, will there be someone we can reach out to regarding contractual matters or during the implementation phase for questions related to budgeting, reporting, or amendments?
Yes, I mean, but so the project officer is the person from the Commission that is responsible for the project, but only the coordinator can be in touch with him or her. So it means that the beneficiaries, if they have any question, they can go to the coordinator. We will escalate the questions to the Commission. Escalate the question to the Commission. But yeah, it's not a problem to do so. Yeah.
Okay, other questions came. Is there a standard template provided for the consortium agreement, or are project partners free to draft it using their own template as long as it covers the necessary provisions?
Yeah, that's exactly the template I've put on this slide that you have in front of you. The DESCA model consortium agreement, that's the template that we use for all Horizon Europe and Digital Europe projects. And it's available online and it's free, and yeah.
Okay. Can the first PM in each task change a little from the proposal to the grant agreement phase? Is there an amendment needed for that?
For the PM change, yes, because it means that it changes also the budget. So yes, you need to do an amendment for this. But it has to be justified, and it cannot be a decision that you make on your side. It has to be decided with the coordinator, of course, and also, it is a decision to be made at the project level, not only at the partners level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the one is 2 questions packed in one. So for organizations like ours, consultancy working with public institutions such as hospitals, what would be the most realistic entry point in the Digital Europe Program Consortium? Are consultancies typically eligible as partners or subcontractors? I love this question. I mean, it depends on the project. It depends on the role you could have. I mean, yes, you're eligible, but it has to make sense. I mean, there is no restrictions per se for consultancy,
but you have to have like coherent and relevant role in the project. So I would say it's up to you to find the right consortium to join and to have enough motivation to go for it. Yes.
Okay, it's the second question from the same consultancy company. Do participants like us need to provide co-financing or in-kind contributions, or can our costs be fully covered through project funding?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Do participants like us, it means the consultancy companies, need to provide co-financing or in-kind contributions, or can our costs be fully covered through project funding?
I mean, in which in Digital Europe, you mean? Because or in general, because it depends on the program. But for Digital Europe, it's co-funding, 50% co-funding. So that's something that you have to bring. Yes.
Yes, in general, we can say that it's quite rare that the EU provides 100% funding. So and as Mario mentioned,
it's more common. Yes.
So normally co-financing is required, and Digital Europe is normally 50%. We have some 75%, and we have some very rarely some kind of, let's say, coordination and support actions or program support actions like calls, which can be covered 100%, but normally it's 50% co-financing required. Okay, other questions. What are the different type of MGE, member grant agreement, and how they should be taken into account during the project preparation, definition, work packages, structure, timing, and so on and so on and so on?
I don't think I got the question. What are the different kind of grant agreement?
Type of MGA, it is written here. If you open the Q&A at the bottom of the screen, you can find it also in writing. What are the different type of MGA and how they should be taken into account during the project preparation, definition, work packages, structure, timing, and so on?
Wait, Frank. I'm trying to open the. What are the different type of MGA and how they should be taken into account during the project preparation? I don't. Do you get the question? I don't understand the question. Type of agreement. Yeah, but there is only one type.
So Mervan Birem is the, let's say, the person who asked the question. So if you are here, please just raise your hands and. Okay. Now you are free to talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So my question was about the type of MGA, because usually we see that there is the actual cost or the lump sum type of MGA. And I was wondering if there is a specific, let's say, way of preparing a work, let's say, project when we are dealing with an actual cost type of MGA or a lump sum. If you have any, let's say, advices or maybe already predefined way of preparing this kind of, say, work packages or timing when defining the project.
No, I don't know how to answer this question, but I know that some of my NCP colleagues are in the audience. So if they want to step up and if they have the answer, feel free.
Okay.
No, sorry, but maybe what you could do is to send this question by email to your national NCP, to your national contact point. And they will get back to you. From what country are you?
Belgium.
Which part?
the Flemish part.
Which part? Okay, so you can contact Marie. She's very helpful, and she will get back to you, I'm sure.
That's still close to Brussels.
Yeah, but I can't help you if you're not in Brussels. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have two other questions, which is one actually. Following my first question about the PMs, the project managers, if it doesn't change the budget, just the PMs sharing distributed in different tasks.
Yeah.
Do you
Yes.
need EC approval for that?
I mean, I would say it depends really on.
Anyway, like I would ask the question the project officer and discuss with him or her.
It's on a case-by-case basis, I would say. If it doesn't really, impact on the project and on the work package.
Like to see if the change is because like something was like to harmonize exactly like what is written in the DOA, or there is a change that impacts DOA. If there is a change, then the amendment needs to be done. If it's only like a harmonization because something was overseen, then it might be okay. But again, like I would like at the preparation stage, I would ask the project officer, and she would guide you, or he would guide you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Christina. We see two other raised hands among the participants. Mr. Ruben Geronimo or Geronimo, I don't know, sorry, how to pronounce your name. You are free to talk if your question still stands and still valid.
Sorry, wait my mess.
Okay, it's not a valid question anymore, so you don't need it. Okay, and the second participant is Mr. Davy Preveneurs. My Flemish pronunciation is not perfect, probably. Or I don't know exactly which country you are from. You are free to talk if your question is still valid. If not, and you just accidentally left your hand raised, then it's not a problem. Then we can go further. And the one financial question will, let's say keep for Christina for the the end of her presentation, because she's coming now. Because after signing the grant agreement, of course, there are two very important tasks for us. The first one is implement the project, so do what we are, we undertake to do. And then in the meantime, we have to fulfill our reporting and accounting obligations to the EU. And this is exactly what Christina will talk about. So Christina, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Janos. Hello, good morning, everybody. My name is Kristina Kočková. I'm National Contact Point for Horizon Europe Cluster 4, but I'm also supporting the coordination or Digital Europe program, that for all. So today I'm going to speak you about the project management with the main focus on financial and technical reporting. And already on my first slide, you can see the topics that I would like to cover during these 20-25 minutes of presentation. And I suppose that the majority of the participants in the audience are supposed to be a partner or are partners in Digital Europe program. So that's why I decided to focus mainly on periodic reporting, because that's the most key deliverable for majority of the partners. Of course, we will look a little bit also on other topics. We will touch also continuous reporting, because this is also something that is there for all partners. We will briefly also mention certificate of financial statement and amendments. That you are aware of them and then you know that they exist, but normally these concern very specific cases, mainly for the financial certificate of financial statements. Very little partners needs to provide them. We will explain like who are there. And concerning the amendments, I will touch this topic very briefly, because again, it's mainly a coordinator who needs to deal with all the steps of amendments, but still it would be great for you as a partner to understand when the amendment is needed and when it's not needed. And finally, I will wrap up by looking beyond the implementation of the project. So we will have a look what happens once the project ends and what are the key obligations that you still have as a partner. Now I would ask my my colleague Agi if she can ask you the questions, because I would be interested to know if you have and if yes, how many experience or how big experience do you have with implementing EU projects? If it's for you the first time, if you have several experience, or if you are a really experienced a partner or maybe coordinator. So I think that you had enough time to make your vote. So I don't know if we can see already like the results. Yeah, so for the majority of you, it's your first time. Some of you, not the first time, you have some experience, but not too many. And then there is also 13% that you have quite a lot of experience. So that's okay. So I hope that each of you will find like something in this presentation that we presented. Maybe we can follow up with the question for those who are more experienced. To let us know what are the parts of the implementation of the project that were the most complicated or confusing for you. That, you know, even if we don't cover them during this presentation, maybe we know what we should focus on for the future. So if you feel like telling us, please do that. And I'm not sure, I was told that we will not see the replies, so we will have to afterwards.
Yes, we
Is
just
that true?
see how many persons answered, but the answers themselves.
So maybe wouldn't it be better to put it in chat or in question and replies?
Okay, Aggie just checks it as a host, and she says that once the poll is ended, we can show something. We can show the results,
Okay.
not just the number of persons, but the result as well.
Okay.
So it's
So
46, 47 answers arrived.
Okay, so thank you very much for your active participation. That's not all the time the case. We will try to get to your replies and then show them back to the audience. So for now, let's continue, right? Yeah. Okay, so I go back to the EU funding and tender portal, because as you already heard, that's like the place where everything is happening once you gain your project. It's a really valuable tool that actually you have to use once your project is granted. Is a platform that really helps beneficiaries to navigate the implementation process smoothly and efficiently. And why it's important, because actually it centralizes all the essential information in one place, and thus making the project management more structured and streamlined. What you can find on the platform. So first of all, I don't know if you can see it, but over here you have a chronological repository of all your project documents. Very useful because you will find there like all the necessary documents from the project, from the grant agreement, deliverables, reports, to go back and to follow like what is happening in the project. Then you can find also key deadlines for reporting and submission. You can find there also comprehensive project detail. You can also find their guidelines and manuals. That's also very useful. On the bottom left side, you have different how to do manuals. So if you have any question, that could be like your first step to go to find the answers. So a very useful tool that I recommend you to get familiarized and take advantage of it, because you have to use it. And now let's have a look for the reporting and payments part. So within the grant management service on the funding and tender portal, there are two types of reporting that you have to do as a partner. First one is continuous reporting. This one is available to you from the beginning of the project until the end of the project, and all the beneficiaries are can edit the parts from the continuous reporting. And then there is a second reporting called periodic reporting module. And as you can see on the screen, this one opens at several occasions. So all the time when the reporting period ends or the project period ends, then the periodic reporting starts and you have a certain amount of time to report it. Another thing that I would like to highlight here is that since reporting and payments are closely linked, you have to pay attention when you are reporting, because without the report, there are no payments. And the final part of this part that I'm presenting is that I would like to show you where you can find the information about the reporting and the payments. And maybe this will also reply to the question that one of the participants asked us about the pre-financing. So you have 3 different places where in a very summarized and nice way you can find the information. So the first one is datasheet here. And the datasheets provides like structure overview of key information about the project, so also about the financial and reporting. Then you have also Sigma or EU funding and tender portals when you enter in the legal parts or of the management system. And there you can find, for example, a tab called reporting periods. And there as well, you can find like from how many reporting periods you have, from which month to which month, and which type of payments they are aligned to. And then there are grant agreement text where Article 21.1 and 21.2 detailed more all your obligation about continuous and periodic reporting. For this part, like some useful tips that I would like to give you. So first of all, as a partner, the most important thing is to follow the information that are provided by the coordinator, because at the end, the coordinator in each project decides how he or she, they would like to manage the project. So all the time follow these requirements. As well, make sure that you are well aware about what is written in the consortium agreement and that you follow it, because part of the information should be mentioned already there as well. Also, make sure that you use the datasheet. So the summary at the beginning of the grant agreement, it summarizes really all the key project information. So if nothing else, at least this part, like it's 4 to 5 pages, you should know, and you should use it in order to get well the project. And as I was saying, no claim, no payment. So you should submit your report on time. Of course, this is not valid for the pre-financing payment, because for the pre-financing payment, you have to submit the grant agreement that Marion was speaking about, and then the pre-financing is followed once this is signed. But then for the next payments, you have to report to prepare the periodic report to receive the next payments. A little bit look on the continuous reporting. So throughout the project, beneficiaries are expected to provide regular updates on its progress, and this is done through continuous reporting. Normally, it includes updates to the publishable summary. It includes submission of deliverables, update the milestones, and update the critical risk. Then you have also part about dissemination and communication activities. Normally, it's accessible through the link provided at the start of the project. So like when your project is granted and you log in to your management system, the screen that you can see here on my screen will be visible from the beginning of the project, and by clicking on it, you can see the grant management system. So the small tabs that you see on bottom on my screen, where you can really very straightforwardly go and update any of these tabs. Anyway, I put also the link for a manual in case you will need more guidance, but in general, it's quite straightforward. And again, like here, the partners that are mentioned in the grant agreement that are responsible for the deliverables or milestones, these are those who should make the updates. And now, periodic reporting. So periodic reporting, as I said, to receive the payments, the consortium must submit periodic reports according to the schedule that is outlined in the grant agreement. These reports are submitted directly through the periodic reporting module, so everything is done online. And normally, the periodic report consists of two parts. Technical part and financial part, and we will have a closer look on each part. So concerning technical part, there is again like two parts, part A and part B. Part A is actually structured tables automatically synchronized with continuous reporting. So if you update regularly continuous reporting, those information are afterwards, like while preparing periodic reports, taken to the part A. And then part B, this is a narrative part. Again, like it mirrors very closely the application form. Participants should report mainly on differences, like if there is like something different from the proposal that happens, delays, work not implemented, and once this is prepared, it should be uploaded on the portal as PDF document. Concerning the financial part, here we have individual financial statement for each partner. So each partner is responsible to submit his or her financial statement. Then the coordinator should check them and consolidate in a consolidated financial statement. Normally, you should also, while preparing it, fill in use of resource report. So provide a little bit more information about work packages or detailed like the travels or other direct costs more in detail. In some occasion, there is also need for certificate on financial statement. And once periodic report is jointly prepared, it should and could be submitted by the coordinator. On this slide, I wanted to little bit explain what are the steps, and also if you can see what are the documents that might be useful to you. So if you go on the EU Funding and Tender portal in the tab Guidance and Documents under Project Reporting Templates, you can find a periodic report template. Why this is important, we will see a little bit later. And as I was explaining you, for the periodic reporting, the template is available only once the periodic reporting is open. But I think that it's useful to have a look about on the template before, and maybe like when the project starting already like preparing the information, or at least be aware which type of information you should report afterwards once the periodic report will open. So this is the place where you can find this template and where you can check and see what needs to be done once the reporting is open. And concerning a little bit the process of periodic reporting, so normally all beneficiaries contribute to the technical part of the periodic report. Then again, this is managed by the coordinator. So normally coordinator will somehow explain you how he would like that it works. Very often it's through the work package leaders who are like gathering the information, but then it could change coordinator by coordinator. So that's why I said that what is important for you as a partner, follow the information given by the coordinator and contribute to the technical part of the periodic report. Then you have to complete your own financial statement. Make sure that your FP sign submit a financial statement to the coordinator. Then the coordinator will have a look. He will approve and submit the periodic report to the commission. And the last step is the commission who receive the report, review it, and accept or reject it. And then once it's accepted, they issue the payment. And as Timo was telling you, I'm also going to show you how does it look in reality on the portal. So concerning the technical report, as I was saying, it's not available from the beginning and it opens only once the reporting period ends. By clicking on the reporting period, what you have highlighted in red, a table with different tabs will open, allowing you to update the necessary information. So you can see on the bottom of the screen that the beginning of the information or the tabs are actually the same as in continuous reporting. And then there are like other information that should be updated. Normally, that's why please update the continuous reporting beforehand, that the synchronization happens in the periodic report. And then the coordinator clicks log for review in the periodic reporting module. Concerning the part B, I put you a screenshot of this template that I was showing you before in my previous slide, how it looks like and which type of information they will ask you to fill in. And on this slide again, you can have a look how to update, how to upload, sorry, the PDF on the module, reporting module. Normally, it should be one single PDF. Please use the available template in the system. Any beneficiary actually can upload the file. Also, if you upload already the file and then you decide to do some changes, you have to delete the existing one and upload a new version. And once the part A and B are ready, you can finalize the submission. And this can be done only by the coordinator. So only the coordinator can finalize the submission and submit. Now, a little bit zoom how it looks like for the financial report. So again, as mentioned before, the financial report are done by each beneficiary individually. And you click on the red triangle or on the red part that I highlighted, and then the small table will pop up that should be edited and filled in. You should add there like parts about the amounts, and then there is a part bottom R that leads to the resources section where normally further details must be completed. And once you complete all those, you can validate them, and it's only PF sign of each beneficiary that can finalize the financial statement and send it to the coordinator. So yeah, make sure that you have well assigned this role, because if not, you cannot submit to the coordinator. Maybe one important thing that I would like to highlight here is that if as a beneficiary you fail to submit a financial statement, your cost will be considered zero for this reporting period. However, you can still declare it in the next reporting period, if it's not the last one, of course. And this is only a view how it looks like afterwards from the side of coordinator. Once he or she received all the reports, they need to submit to the commission. They can also send it back for further changes. They can do that for the financial statement, and also they can do that for technical report for editing. But once it's finalized, they click on the button and they submit to the Commission. And for this part, some helpful tip for technical and financial reports. So concerning technical report, keep it short and factual. Make sure that you have your PF sign to sign when there is a need to sign, not to delay the process more than needs to be. And also make sure that you record your time work on the project per work packages monthly, and that you sign your timesheets, and it's also cross-signed by your line manager. And I prepare also 2 questions that you might have. So, for example, what happens if the costs differ from the planned cost? If this is a problem. So normally, no, like that's why there is like this flexibility that exists. Normally it should not be a problem. Although if the deviations are really are quite important, then please inform your coordinator, because this might be something that has to be explained in the technical report to avoid any delays or accepting avoid the clarification process or a question from the Commission. And the second question, if the incurred cost during the implementation is higher than estimated, can this be covered by the project? So again, this is, I would say, question to your coordinator, because coordinator has the best overview of what is happening in your project, also from the financial part. So they can judge the best if there is like money available, so speak with your coordinator. But in general, if other partners have spent less and the total contribution is not increased, this should be feasible and could be covered by the project. And of course, like the costs that you are requesting are eligible under the project. Very quickly about the certificate on financial statement, that I was saying that it normally is available or valid only for very small part of participant, because it requires to be issued only once the request for the EU contribution is over 430,000 euros. So in general, very few partners are over this amount. It should be prepared by external auditor or public officer in case of public organization, and there is a specific template available on the funding and tender portal that has to be used. And what is it about? Like it's like a report that the main purpose is to give assurance to the granting authorities, so to EU, about the regularity of the cost claimed. So it's like a additional assurance that everything is happening in accordance with the rules. Amendments. So here a table when there is a need to ask for the amendments and where you don't need to ask. So you have to ask for the amendments in case there is a change with beneficiary or affiliated entities, when there is a change in coordinator, when there is a change to description of action. Here I would say that make sure that the changes are not significant changes, because this could this may put into question the decision to award the grant. So again, this is assessed case by case. So all the time speak with your project officer. Also, when you would like to do changes of the project schedule, for example, if you would like to extend the project, and also when you would like to make changes related to subcontracting or in-kind contribution. And on the other hand, where there is no need to go through the amendment, there is a budget transfer that could be covered by budget flexibility, legal data changes, merger or acquisition, or changes in the bank's name or branch address. So in this case, you don't need to go through the amendment, although there is an information obligation. So normally, even though the changes are not requiring amendments, but they trigger the information obligation under Article 19.3. So what does it mean in practice? That speak with your project officer and inform them about these changes. And my helpful tips for this part is that, as I was telling you, the amendments procedure is normally managed by the coordinators, so you are not really too much involved as a partner. But which impact it could be on you is that while the amendment process is open, the grant management service is blocked. This means that, for example, you cannot report, periodic report is not available. So in case you know that you should report and you don't see this option, this might be because the amendments process is in place, not finalized. And the final part of my presentations are obligation after the project is closed. Where you can find those obligations, again, like speaking about the data sheets, like the very useful summary at the beginning of the grant agreement. So this is the part where you can find all the information about your obligation after the closing of the project under the part 6 others. And here you can see how many years you are obliged to keep records from the project, how many years you can still have the audit. And normally it starts counting from the last payment that you received from your project. And my tip here would be keep all your supporting documents well organized throughout the project. So in case of audit, it will be quite easy to clarify and to show them what was done during the project. And my final slide, it's if you wish to go a little bit deeper and if you request more detailed information, there is, again, annotated grant agreement that was already shared also by my colleague Marion. Very useful documents, very long documents, but all the important information could be found there. Then Digital Europe reference documents page. So there you can find all the templates that are linked with the Digital Europe program. The link to find national contact points if you have any question. And the last link is the workshops that the European Commission prepared about these topics. Normally it's for Horizon Europe, but because Horizon Europe and Digital Europe program for this part, they are very similar. So you can have a look and get more detailed information there as well. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Christina. And in the meantime, we just checked the Q&A part, and there are questions.
Of course.
First one, as I mentioned earlier, is there systematical pre-financing in the projects? If so, what is the ratio of the pre-financing as compared to the total budget? This was asked earlier.
So normally it's 65% that you will receive as a pre-financing.
Yeah, but it's something that has to be decided at the consortium agreement stage. It's an information that you can find in the consortium agreement. Yeah. Okay,
thank you very much. The next one is about a platform, a partner search platform. We put it a bit later, and we will answer it a bit later because I have a couple of slides on it. The next one regarding payments. Grant payments are done after the periodic reporting is finished. In how many payments is divided the total grant?
Then again, it depends on project. Like there are some that are longer. So then the commission decide to do several periodic report. For those that are, for example, for 2 years, there is one periodic report. So again, like I think that it's maybe I don't know if it's a negotiation or it's like the commission who decides, and often it depends on the how long the project is.
But for a 2 years project, for example, there are going to be 3 payments because you're going to receive the pre-financing at the beginning. then the midterm financing after 1 year, and then the final one.
Balance.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. The next one is, does 430,000 euro certificate requirement go for each partner, which means is it mandatory if a single partner's budget is above this amount, or is this referring to the entire budget of the project?
No, no, no. This is for the specific individual partner. So if the budget of one partner is over this threshold, then this partner has to provide the certificate only. Other partners who are under the threshold, they don't need to provide the certificate.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last one is about lump sum. In the case of a lump sum budget, are beneficiaries required to provide evidence of the actual payments made or submit financial documentation to justify the lump sum amount?
I don't know. I would not like to answer this question because I might. So maybe we can take it and then check. To my knowledge, there were no lump sum under digital Euro program.
I think there were some calls in just a very few calls so far that were lump sum budgeted, and to my knowledge, let's say the major difference between lump sum and the actual cost base is that you don't have to prove the actual payments made. For example, if once your budget in the Excel sheet, what is required, is approved by EU, then what you have to do is prove that, for example, the work package or the task is delivered. And once the task is delivered or the work package is done, then the lump sum, which is allocated to the specific work package, then it's automatically given. So, but of course, we will check it deeply, and we will provide.
Normally, I know that in Horizon Europe, exactly like there is no audits, financial audits or financial verification. So everything is done through the technical reports, and if this is done, then the payments is released.
Okay. And the last one so far, is Digital Europe part of the Horizon Europe funding framework? So the same annotated grant agreement, right?
So I would not say that it's part of Horizon Europe. It's another program. But yes, the Commission, they try to harmonize and they try to use the same framework. So the AGA, annotated grant agreement, it's the same that you can find for Horizon Europe, also for Digital Europe program. And again, like when you go on the participant portal in this part of guidelines and documents, you can find there annotated grant agreement. So if you are not sure, go choose like the program, and all the templates or all the resources will appear that are linked with the program.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no more questions, then I would stop it here. There is another one. I would like to ask whether the current call under the Digital Europe program was opened and what the deadline for submission is. Thank you in advance for your clarification.
I will give this to Marion.
Yeah, but Janos knows as well. But so the call will open on the 4th of November. They are already on the portal, so you can have a look. And the deadline will be on the 3rd of March.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much for the questions and the answers. And before saying goodbye, I would like to share some information about the consortium building and the related thing, which is the B2Match portal. So I share my screen. And hopefully you can see it, because as we experience it day by day, consortium building is still one of the most challenging tasks about the European Union projects. And this is why with the Digital Europe program and the Debt for All project, we decided to create an event, the so-called event, or better to say a community, based on the B2Match platform. So I would like to show just a couple of slides about it. It's just, let's say, screenshots. Please, I would encourage everyone to explore it. Simply just type in let's bit2match.com, and on the bit2match.com you will find this. This is the, let's say, the general starting site of the Bit2Match platform, and you can see it up that there is an explore event part. If you click on it, then you will get here. For example, if you type in DEP, the Digital Europe Program, the first one is right away the Digital Europe Program Matchmaking Platform. This is the left one. And this is the community, or the so-called event, what we created on the Bit2Match platform. And if you just click on it and go into it, you are free to register. Of course, give all the data about yourself and your organization, so that everyone can find you, and so that everyone can see you, whether you are a relevant partner for another organization or not. And we decided to have a kind of filter system. It means that once an organization registers in the platform, then we will see it. We centrally manage this DEP for all platform, this on the Bit2Match platform, and the local national contact points will activate the profiles of the registrants. And once you are activated and made visible on the site, then you can see everything. So, for example, you can see the participants here. You can see some data about the participants. If you click on them, you can see even more detailed. And there is a marketplace button up there as well. And if you click on it, then, for example, you can see if there are any, let's say, project cooperation possibilities the other registrants uploaded already. And we strongly encourage everyone to do it as well. So once you are interested in getting any partnership, then you can specify it here. What kind of partnership are you interested in? And you can find each other easily. You can organize meetings. You can network. You can contact, and so on and so on and so on. So this is, I think, a quite useful tool. We normally use this Bit2Match platform not just for DEP, but use it in other projects as well. But for us, it seems the most well-known matchmaking platform. And this is why this was the basis. And based on this platform, we created our own one as well. So this is about the Bit2Match platform, and some, let's say, final information before bidding you farewell. The first one, as I promised, that in a follow-up letter, we will send you everything what is important. So we will send you the presentations, we will send you the recordings of the meetings, and we will send you the answers to the, let's say, unanswered questions so far. And we will send this follow-up mail within a couple of days. The second one, as I showed you just a couple of minutes ago, please, we encourage you to explore the Bit2Match platform and to find the Digital Europe Program community there, register, and make contacts. We strongly hope that this will very much help you by building consortiums in the future. And another, last but not least, as I mentioned, this is session 6, but it's not the last one, not the last training session we plan. What we are planning now is probably we will repeat the introduction to DEP training again, because there was a huge record interest and record participation, but still there are countries which were not present there. So I think there can be a need for this training as well. And there are interesting topics, for example, the consortium building itself and the Bit2Match platform in a bit more detail. Maybe it is also worth organizing a separate training on it. And there are some very important topics, professional topics around the Digital Europe program as well. For example, cascade funding type financing. So these are some of ideas we have at the moment. These are, of course, to be confirmed and to be organized, but we encourage you to follow us on our social media platforms. The Debt for All has its own LinkedIn profile, and you will know everything. So we will communicate everything, and we would like to encourage you to, let's say, come with us. So if there are no questions, this was for today, and it's sharp 11:30. So thank you very much for your participation. Should you have any bilateral questions or in-depth questions, as we mentioned, please turn to your local Digital Europe Program national contact points. So thank you very much for your participation, and looking forward to having you on our future sessions as well. So thank you very much and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.